Hey guys, Xel'crin here, and today we're here to play Final Call B4. Now, this is by a map maker named Skell, and I swear to God, we had done his maps before, but going through my things on my maps, I can't find anything from him. So, if this is my first time playing your maps, map maker, then wow, because I've seen your name out there for a while. I could have sworn we played one of your maps. So if I haven't, forgive me. It's about time. It's been a long time coming. But before we do that, I'll put a thing in the description for the way to get past this. But I want to just address my audience here, my general audience. I'd like to apologize for the past free killing floor videos. Now we came back, and to that I was happy. I think the first video we did was decent. We were back. Everything was great. We had some decent support, but after that, for some reason, we're not talking about views here. I'm talking about quality, and that's entirely my fault. I wish I could say it wasn't. Like, obviously, it was a technological error. Like, audio shit got fucked up, and then quality shit. Then for some reason, Fraps fucked up lighting in the most recent one we did last week. But at the end of the day, I have to claim full responsibility because I'm the one doing the fucking recording. So, I would just like to say I am sorry that content hasn't been necessarily the best, and I've definitely not monetized any of it, and I'd hope that's enough to make up for it. Hopefully it wasn't literally terrible. Hopefully you weren't gouging your fucking eyes out because it was just that bad. But I'm sorry, I need a drink there. I won't do that again. Hopefully. But I just felt it's time to address it. It's been like probably 3 days or so since we've done this, probably two, three, something like that. It's been a while, basically, and we have not gotten anything right. So the hope here is that we'll be good to go with this map. Hopefully things will stay stagnant. I've even recorded this later in the day because I think personally, now this is just a theory, I'm about 100% certain. Like, obviously, a lot of it I think is attributed to technological problems that, you know, I could have maybe prepared for better, but I still, regardless, didn't. But it happened. But I think the main theory I have right now is I was rushing this, and what I mean by that is a lot of the footage I do, a lot of the videos I do tends to be pre-recorded. By that, I mean a lot of the stuff I do is, like, you're seeing it, and it might be, like, a week old, it might be 2 weeks, it might even be 5 days. Basically, it's not the day before or the day of. This stuff is literally recorded on Thursdays and now Friday, technically. Friday, when they're supposed to come out. So, I think, I honest to God, and some of you might not be happy with this decision, but I think I've come to the decision that I will be doing the recordings later, which in turn means that the videos will be coming out later on Fridays, and hopefully we can still stick with the Friday schedule. But basically my hope here is that the quality will be better, and if it is better, that kind of proves my point. Maybe I should, chill a little bit with all the rushing I feel I am doing with this. But anyway, that being said, let's get to the map in 1 second. I sensed some FPS lag, and I want to make sure Fraps isn't splitting my videos. If it is, God fucking damn it. Thank you, Fraps. I love you so much. Sarcasm fully intended. Alright, I checked, and we're good. So, without further ado, if you're coming back from, skipping that rant, I don't blame you. You probably have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, because, probably, you could be new, could be, long-time follower. That was mainly just for the long-time followers. But without further ado, we're going to go into the map by Skell. Your helicopter crashed on your way home from London, and they are coming. I've never really criticized the story of this stuff, but I might get to that. Like, I feel I just, honest to God, have to ask, your way home from London, what do you mean by that? Like, your way home from, like, why would you be on a helicopter coming home from London? Like, I'm assuming he's going for the soldier vibe, going by the rest of this that I'm just silently reading to myself. But, I don't know. It just seems a little weird. But anyway, your squad stranded, like, I don't know. It just seems weird. But your squad stranded on a desolate military base must defend itself from the incoming specimens. You have nowhere to run, so it's time to go guns blazing. This is the final call in epic dark voices. Deep, dark voices. So, yeah, basically, so far the story is the generic. The world is fucked. You're the only guy left. Fucking fight to the death. in this final stand on this place. And even though you're swarmed, literally swarmed, dude, like you are swarmed, you know, go down fighting, guns blazing. Already I'm noticing that asset from the one map. My numlock is not working. There we go. A little bit of glitches there, sorry about that. You know me, I always have a little bit of a hiccup when I first enter a map. So far right off the bat, things look interesting, that's for sure. Then, of course, my usual complaint, sensitivity. Gotta love it. Got to fucking love as I chop off their heads on this map too. That's just great. That is just great. But yeah, so far, that's okay, I guess. My only thing so far is I'm definitely noticing assets I've seen before in the past. Plenty of them, in fact. In fact, they're everywhere. But that's okay. I mean, it is just a mod. While non-previously used assets are a nice thing to have in these maps, you're not always going to get them. You're just not always going to get them. And, you know, I don't feel that really devalues the map at all. I mean, this isn't a tripwire map. As I've said with many of these, like, sometimes that's not bad, sometimes that's, you know, bad, but in this situation, I don't know, I think it's kind of a middle ground. Like, let's see how the level plays out. So far, it's not playing out too bad, but... Oh, God, okay. Like, I'm sure there's some stuff, obviously, that isn't, like, you know, already made assets, but... Like, this looks kind of cool, but I swear to God I've seen it somewhere, but, you know, it's been a while since I played Killing Floor. I'm sure there's plenty of originality somewhere on this map that I'm not noticing. But, you know. Like, I am noticing some things, but I don't know if they're original, because, you know, it's been forever. They could have been used on other maps for all I know. God only knows. So far, this place is cool, but I don't know. Like, hello, Horizon. Like, why is this a Horizon base? Like they said, we're returning home for London, and yet... You know, Horizon wasn't a news network or anything like that, and this is not a Horizon base, I'm pretty sure. If it is, apparently I'm a member of Horizon, and I never knew it. So, okay then. But this is definitely, they went for the bunker vibe, and they did it mostly well. My only thing is, if it's a bunker, why is there graffiti everywhere? Right, this looks like a kind of weird bunker if you ask me, but okay. I guess. I don't know. It kind of just feels a little bit like a mesh of a bunch of things kind of thrown together at the moment. Not sure if I really agree with that at all. Like, it says get out. Like, if this is supposed to be a bunker, like, if this is our last stand out over here, why is there something that says get out? Who's supposed to get out? Like... I'm going too much of this from a story perspective, and I'm pretty sure in the past I said I wouldn't do that, but I'm sorry, it's been 4 years. I feel it's necessary to do that. What are we dealing with? What are we dealing with? Where am I? That's my biggest concern with this map at the moment. I don't really know what the fuck is happening. Like, there was a nice little written story there, but I would argue that it's almost, that well-written story made it a little worse. I don't entirely know what is happening, because we're supposed to be... Oh, God. How am I almost dead already? What the hell? Wow, 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 this is bad, this is bad, this is really bad. Shit. How are we almost dead already? Okay, let's go another way. Just fuck that shit. Wow. Jeez. Okay, we need to get help. I need to shut the fuck up and recover. I do like this. Okay, I was about to scream if that was an invisible wall. But... that hasn't happened to us in a long time, especially this early on. That's scary. I'm kind of baffled by that, to be honest. But luckily we've recovered. We're good to go. Kind of close. Just a little bit. Has me a little bit concerned about how the rest of this map is going to go, but hopefully it goes well. But, as I was saying, we're supposed to be, you know, we returned home to London from a helicopter, right? So you assume you're military, and like the guy talked about, Skell talked about, we're supposed to be returning from the home. You assume we're in the military, and while he doesn't explicitly say it, like we're in a bunker. It sounds like so. Why are there Horizon things? Why was there a Horizon TV? Did Horizon take over the TV station? Is that what they're going for? Because I don't think that was ever said. And while I've said that, ooh, this is original. I think that actually might be the Carnival. I don't even know. I just feel like on this map it feels too much like just a mesh of assets. I feel like it's a nice, I guess it's a decently nice map, but at the same time I almost died. I don't really know what just happened there. I feel, I don't know. Like, I don't want to entirely base my criticism on the story, like, don't get me wrong, and that's what I'm trying to avoid, but I just went on a rant about it, and I'm sorry about that. This is just, I'm a raider. You followers, longtime fans would know this, but, I'm sorry to say it, but at the end of the day, story does tend to make up the theme of your map, game, whatever the fuck you're making, and if the theme is military base, you know, we're in London, we escaped the specimens and all that, and this is our final stand. A lot of what I'm seeing doesn't seem to make sense to me at all, really. Like, I'm a little bit baffled by that. Like, this seems to, I don't know, it just seems very weird to me, personally. What I want to know, one second. Oh god, what did I just do? I think I accidentally pressed the button there, don't mind me. See, what I'm trying to understand here is the B4 reference that it made. It's like when you open that, it says just says Final Call. Like, is B4 the name of the shipping yard? Like, are we actually in a shipping yard and not in a military base? Because, of all places, why would a helicopter bring us to a shipping yard? Like, I just assumed, you know, military bunker and all that because, you know, helicopter. Why would we be dropped in a random shipping yard? Like, I feel like there's just so much to this that would be good in context, but there's none. There is no context at all, and at the same time, then you see stuff like this. Like, this looks like a bunker. Like, seriously looks like a bunker. Like, someone set this up manually, because you do not see stuff perfectly placed like that to make, like, bridges and shit. You never see that. And probably never will, unless, you know, someone came here to prepare for the apocalypse, or, you know, like a bunker or something like that. So it's like, okay, has to be a bunker. Then you go up, suddenly, boom, you're in a freight yard. Or not a freight yard, but, you know, where they drop boxes and whatnot. I don't know the word for it. Call me dumb if you'd like. Go ahead. If it makes you feel better, go ahead. But, I just don't know. And then that's another thing, though. That's a Horizon statue, too. So, I just am left to assume that we are, I suppose, survivors from Horizon? Which is definitely a different take on things. I will definitely give the map maker that if that's what he's going for. It's definitely a different take on things. Because normally, you know, we're the military, we're the guys trying to survive. So maybe it's not the classic macho, like, we're military guys trying to survive with our last stand. Maybe this is actually Horizon trying to make a last stand. At the same time, we could just be military guys that for some reason landed. This is why I don't think this is the case. We could just be random military guys that landed in the fucking Horizon base, of all things. It's not even a base at that. It's a transport area with graffiti everywhere. Literally saying, get out. In multiple places at once. I like the sky, though. I will go with that. Of all the things to compliment, I know. But yeah, I know I'm just bashing on the story, but overall, I think this map is... It's okay. Not the best, that's for sure. Definitely not the best. Gameplay-wise, it seems to play well. I think we just had a little hiccup there because we were going on a tangent, and I think we got distracted. But, so, I'm not gonna say that it's broken or anything like that. I completely own up to that. That was possibly my skill. It was probably a hiccup, but at the same time, this is happening. What was that now? Now we're gonna run into a situation, hopefully, where we do not end up in a corner. See, what is this now? What? Like, I will give the map maker that this map is very diverse. Like, it's very cool, but at the same time, I don't entirely understand where the fuck we are. Where are we? Like, if you're going for a dreamy, trippy kind of map feel, you know, you don't really have to know where you are because it's going for the crazy. It's not supposed to make sense. That's the whole point. But this, I feel, they were trying to go somewhere. Like, we're in a specific location. We're in a realistic area. By realistic, I don't mean, like, you know, a real place in real life, but I mean, in a sense, you know, a place not in a dream realm, so to speak, like some of the other maps we've played. In fact, 2, technically, now. Like that one school map we just played last week. But, at the same time, you know, the map isn't playing bad, so I'll give it props there. There's music, as we've seen. It almost feels sad that I sometimes have to say that it has music, but at the same time, there's definitely been circumstances where there's been no music at all, or, you know, even sometimes obnoxious music, I would even say. But still, that's musical taste. That's not an objective criticism I can give when it comes to that. But you know my point. But, so far, I wouldn't rate it terrible. Like, it's not terrible, this map, but it's not, I don't know, I don't feel it's anything too special. It just feels like a map with assets everywhere. And I'm still trying to piece together the story. And like I said, fan theories is not bad either, like trying to piece together the story of why you're in a map, for example. But at the same time, I feel if you're going to do that kind of route, like you're going to drop someone in an area where you know, there's lots of this symbolism and you're supposed to figure this stuff out, I feel that it shouldn't explicitly say, you are here because you are in your final stand, or something like that. I feel it should just let the map speak for itself, so to speak. Like the Silence of Streets map, while the video was terrible, and I'm very sorry about that, as I said previously, because of the audio, that map did the whole fan theory thing really well. It was a nice map, it looked good visually, it played well. There was one minor hiccup with some music, and a minor hiccup with the gameplay, because, you know, the glitch that occurred. However, they didn't explicitly say much. There was just a little cool description. Like a little... Alright, that was a fuck up on my math there. Sorry about that. You know I'm terrible at math if you're a long-time fan. But, you know, they did a little basic description of the map, basically, like, just a little thing to give it a little bit of, you know, like a little bit of advertisement, like the silence of the streets kind of thing, you know, that kind of thing. I don't really know how, I don't have a good impression off the top of my head, because I don't remember the exact words of the description, but, you know, it was a decent description. Not super in detail, but you get into the map, and the map pretty much speaks for itself. Like, you see police barricades everywhere, you see a fog, you see, you know, a building for a company. You see lots of cool things that let you determine the map's purpose. Like, you figure out where the fuck you are by playing the map. Whereas this, you know, they went straight for, this is your final stand. Survive the zombie apocalypse, or as they like to call it in this game, Zeds. And, you know, I feel if you're going to do that, okay, but then you really need to stick with your theme a little better, because I feel this isn't exactly, what's the word I'm looking for? This doesn't really convey the theme that you basically conveyed in your long-ass description that I read aloud at that. But, and even made sarcastic jokes at, expecting it to be that. Instead, it was not. Like, I expected this to legitimately be a bunker. I expected, you know, barricades and, like, sandbags and all that. And, like, you know, we survived. We used a helicopter. Hell, guys, there's no... Look at this map, alright? Let's just look at this for a minute, alright? There's our helicopter. I was just about to say it's not here, but there it is. We finally found the helicopter. You have to look hard to find the helicopter. At that, you know, then we look at that. Now we crashed. We didn't land. We crashed. Well, they did say that, to be 100% fair. I do remember that bit. We definitely heard that we crashed. So we crashed. But now what? Like, better question yet. How did we crash? How did we just manage to crash? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, oh, God, I'm sorry. I'm not doing the whole don't criticize the story too well here, but it just has to be said. What is happening? Like, I know they didn't explicitly say it was a bunker either. That's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't say that. We crashed. We're in a random location. You know. But coincidentally, it just happens to be a Horizon facility. And coincidentally, you know, we're floating. Where are we? Hang on. Let's see this. We're floating in the sky, right? No, we're not floating in the sky. We're in the water, it seems like. Okay, so not only did our helicopter crash, but we crashed on a platform of some kind? Like, this is what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, I'm just baffled, really. I'm just baffled. You might as well just call this video Rant on Story by Xel'crin, which is holy fuck. We somehow, I think I'm slowly piecing it together. I'm not sure it was entirely what the map maker intended, but from what I'm getting, we crashed from the helicopter on a Horizon facility that just so happens to have a bunker at the bottom, like a bunker-looking area with a vault and whatnot to survive the impending zombie apocalypse that Horizon expected, because they definitely expected their experiments to go wrong and then to lose control, so they made the bunker. Yep, that made sense. Somehow. And, you know, all this is just pure coincidence. And this is the theme we're sticking with. It's a place for boxes. It's some kind of transport area in the water that our helicopter just coincidentally crashed in, that also happens to have a bunker that is also happens to just be made by the people who made the zombies. Wow. That's a lot of coincidences. Fuck. Can you say that with a straight face? Like, honestly? Can you honestly say that with a straight face? Alright, I gotta, like, try to pivot away from this. It's just bother. Like, I know someone's just raging so hard right now in the comment section or on the Steam forums where I'm gonna post my review if this footage is good. Saying that I've criticized the story way too much. And, okay, let's talk about the design. As I said, I don't. Like, this is why my complaint is, like, I don't know where we are. Not because of the story, but because of the way this map has presented itself. Like, it feels, like, first of all, as I said, it feel like I've seen a lot of assets I've seen before, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But I feel like some of this stuff doesn't make sense at the same time. Like these boxes give me the idea of, you know, it's a trading area. Then we go down here, we see random glow sticks of different colors. Like, okay, why is that a thing? God is only going to know, I guess. Then we go down here with this more graffiti. Like, there's just graffiti everywhere here, for whatever the reason. We go down here and we're suddenly in a power room that looks like a fucking bunker almost. Even has like a vault door right there. Apparently there's invisible walls, so you can't even go down there, so that's just great. Then it's just, wait, is that light? Is that electricity down there now? Hang on, I just saw some weird, like, lighting. Yeah, okay, so now apparently someone was disconnected and broke. And now we're stuck. Now we're stuck and pretty much good old fucked right now. There's a flesh pound. Honestly, we had seen enough in the map anyway, so I'm not going to complain too much. I think we've got the general gist of it. I think we get the general gist. Wait, maybe we can actually make it out of this. Maybe by some grace of God, we can make it out. Oh, no, that's not looking too good. Wait, boys, can we do it? Can we do it, boys? Can we do it? Healing ourselves. Running like hell. This is definitely a map that if I had known prior to, I would have definitely said was worth the shotgun. Oh my god, yeah. If we survived it, yeah, we didn't. I was going to say, if we survived that, we're apparently a god. Okay, so yeah, there's not much I can say on the design. That's the main problem, because of the fact that it's just, you know, I'm sorry I had to take a drink there, but, you know, it's a bunch of access at this point. Like, I really don't know what to say. Like, I didn't, like, the map played well, and it was nice. It wasn't the most visually appealing, as I've probably made apparent. And yeah, I just want to reread this. Okay. Okay, look, this is what they said, okay? I was right. Your helicopter crashed on your way home from London, and they are coming. Your squad is stranded on a desolate military base that apparently is the military is now Horizon, must defend itself from incoming specimens. You have nowhere to run, so it's time to go guns blazing. This is the final call, and this military base apparently just so happens to be in the middle of the ocean? Or in the sky? It looked like the ocean, but all I can really say about this map is, yes, I have ranted on the story, but the point I want you to understand here is theme. I'm not trying to knock on the story too much. Hell, I don't even care if your map has story sometimes. Like, we've played those maps like Cry on Fear, which is just, basically like a Killing Floor rendition of some previous horror games, and, there wasn't much story to it. It was just a cool, visually cool map. But, I'm sorry, no offense, but this didn't even have that going for it. It wasn't even that visually appealing. It was just assets everywhere. So, I don't really think it has that going for it. It doesn't really have looks going for it. Story is all over the place, and theme. Like, story, I've ranted enough about story, but let's, I'm trying to rant about theme here, but not incorporate story, and it's really hard. But I think I can drive home my point when I say, from what I just read to you, from what we just saw, does that really make sense? Like, it's a military base that just so happens to be like a freight yard with like a bunch of boxes, and we also happen to just be in the water, and, just by pure coincidence, of all the places the helicopter could have crashed, it crashed in the water. Like, obviously that helicopter bit is a story part. See, this is where it's hard. Like, I'm trying to convey to you the problem with the theme, so just hang on. Let me collect my thoughts just for 1 second. Just hang on. I'm doing it live. It's great. Psychically. Mentally processing. But the best thing I can say as an argument would have to be the water. Like, the best thing I could say as a theme argument is the water. Like somebody's going to say, really? That's all you got? And at the end of the day, yeah, that's not all I've got, but that is a pretty damn good thing to say, because, the map is pretty damn small to begin with. But then you look out and somehow you are coincidentally on some kind of water base? And we're supposed to be coming home from London. Or going home to London. So we're to assume that we are British. Or, we've been in London a while. And if that's the case, then I'm assuming, while it's not specified, I'm just assuming it's supposed to be some kind of British base. And even so, even if it is a British base, there's not too many aquatic platform-looking things like that. I don't know what I just played on is what I'm trying to get at. Like, it just felt, I guess the word I'm going for is not realistic enough. Like, I basically, I can't imagine it, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I cannot imagine this scenario. Like, a lot of the maps I've played do well because either they're visually appealing, they have a good story, or you can just imagine yourself in the situation. Like, you can see yourself realistically, oh, I'm out in the forest, I'm surviving, that kind of thing. Or, I'm out in the swamps, I'm out here, that kind of thing. I don't even know where the fuck I was attempting to survive right now. Like, I literally have no idea where we were trying to survive. I'm just guessing by the B4 reference that apparently it was base B4. That doesn't really help me, but okay. Like, maybe they were going for a secret military-based vibe, but even so, the place didn't really seem like a secret military base. It felt like everything at the top didn't feel like a bunker at all, like a military base. It felt like a transport area, and the water almost brings that home, kind of. Like, I don't know. Like, this is a map that has actually brought a rant out of me. And I had praised Skell at the beginning of this video. That's interesting. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, and I'm perfectly okay with that. Sorry, drink. I'm just a mess today. But, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for it, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry. I'm just speaking my honest-to-God opinion, and my review basically is, where the fuck are we? Where the fuck are we? What is this map? Is basically my review. Mechanically, it was a map. It wasn't the best, it wasn't worse, it wasn't terrible, it was a map. There was no glitches, there was no nothing. I personally don't like close range maps, this, that's a personal bias. As well as I don't like, medium to super small maps. That's just a personal bias of mine, and you can objectively argue that. However, I believe everything else I said is objectively a fair criticism. Because at the end of the day, am I the only one that just simply has to ask what is going on? Like, I truly cannot judge a map's theme, like how well they stuck to it and whatnot, if I don't even know what the fucking theme is. Like, I know what the theme is by the description. I don't know what the fuck the theme is by what I saw on the map. So I would argue the theme was executed poorly. Because the theme was an attempt from a description at a military base, and I didn't feel like I was in a military base. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who didn't feel like I was on a military base. So, you know, like, obviously not every military base obviously is the stereotypical bads everywhere and whatnot, but there wasn't even an entrance. Like, there wasn't turrets to defend the place. There was nothing. Nothing at all. And you know what? I'm going to say this. Let's look at this. A desolate military base. Alright? That normally means abandoned or, you know, it's farther out and whatnot. But at the same time, there would still probably be guns or something on there. Like turrets of some kind. And there was nothing to indicate that. It was just a platform in the water. How would I ever know without that description that that was a military base is what I'm trying to say. That is my best argument if I could give from this video. How am I supposed to know that that was a military base and not just a place in the water? I felt like that map did not have enough going for its theme. In fact, that's why I said sometimes with maps it's better to not overcomplicate the story just to get yourself publicity. Because at the end of the day, if you give it a big story like, you crashed in a military base, you have to stick to that theme. You have to make it look like a military base. It didn't look like a military base. There was no defenses. There was nothing. There wasn't even, like, guns, except if you want to count the trader room as a gun armory type thing. But there was nothing there. Like, if this was a real military base, like in a real world, even if it was an abandoned one now, I understand that. It was a desolate, it was abandoned, all that stuff. But even in any time period, if that was a real military base during a war, holy hell, it would be the worst military base ever. It would be taken over in seconds. And you know what? They probably demolish it afterwards because it's undefendable. The only thing it had going for it was the water. That's its best defense. And I'm sorry, you just need boats. Basic fucking wooden boats, and boom, your military base is taken over. Especially when you don't have guns protecting it. Like turret guns, I mean, not just basic guns. And they didn't even have basic guns. Alright, I'm gonna shut up now. I'm sorry, I've been ranting too much about that. It's time for my rating, and I think my rating would be a 6 of 10. Specifically because, not just the story, as you know, I ranted about the story and whatnot and joked about it and was really sarcastic about it. But not just because of the story, but because of the theme. And the fact that, visually, it did not stick to its theme at all. It just really didn't. I could not tell I was on a military base at all. Fair and Fury-wise, I guess it was okay. Like, I was piecing together things as I was on there. But, last I checked, Horizon had no military standings and was just a research type group. I'm gonna have to read my lore into that a little bit more, but as far as I know, I'm kind of accurate on that. If you'd like to correct me in the comments, you may. Feel free. You'll teach me something. Thank you. I'll remember that. But even so, even less sense that a military base, supposedly, I'm gonna assume owned by Horizon since there was TVs there, would just have their founders, or whatever that guy is, lore-wise, the Horizon statue just there, you know? So, I really don't know what to say about this map other than, simply put, it did not stick to its theme well at all, I feel. It plays okay. If you're looking for a map just, you know, to play, get in and out, you know, kind of play it, be like, okay, cool, that was a map, and just kind of leave, okay? But if it's if you're one of those kind of people that wants a map that you probably will not forget, this is not the map for you, I feel. Like, this is the kind of map that just is too generic and makes just no sense. The only reason I'd probably remember this is a reviewer reason, and that's because I can use this as an example of not sticking to your theme. Obviously, there's worse stuff out there in this community, but at the moment, this is a pretty good example of not sticking to your theme, I feel. But I will give you there were no glitches. You had your music correct. You made an effort. But at the end of the day, I feel my review is a 6 out of 10. Now, Skell, we haven't dealt with each other before. I'm sure if you're offended in any way by this, you are, of course, writing a nasty comment right now or a defensive thing right now. And I'd like to ask you to stop for a moment. And if it's already written, well, too late. But I'd like you to hear me out. I'd like you to give me my disclaimer that I give every single person I've done a map by, and that's quite a few people now. All right. I am by no way trying to say I am entirely right. I am a reviewer on the internet. I am a guy who showcased your map, and these are entirely my personal opinions. And yes, everyone, including myself, as I make vividly clear every time I do one of these maps, has a personal bias. If not, biases. Mine, of course, the most current and common being, no, you don't. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. This is part of my speech. But, my current ones being large maps. Well, you would if you watched the rest of the video, but, you know. But, like, not having a large map, invisible walls, and, you know, that kind of stuff. And there I go. I said it again. I'm sorry. Just accept it of my speech, please. But, that being said, just because I'm one guy doesn't mean my criticism isn't warranted. I feel, you know, these are my opinions, and if you disagree with them, of course you feel free to. Take my criticism with a grain of salt. I am one guy on the internet out of thousands. I've already looked at your thing. You have plenty of support in your comment section. It's definitely a decent map. I personally didn't like it, but I'm sure there are plenty of people that would. I'm in no way a map maker, and I'm sure the way you go about doing that is not easy. I've tried it. Trust me, I've tried. I will give you that. I have tried. Holy hell, is it not easy? Because I cannot design for shit, which is why I understand assets and why you use them rather than, you know, making a whole map from scratch. But, you know, at the same time, my opinion is my opinion. I feel, is what I'm trying to say here. But after this video, I would not be surprised if some people start to say a bias of mine is stories, and I would like to believe I'm not biased because of stories, but at the same time, I did rant a lot of the story there, and I would understand where that criticism was coming from, but that's mainly because I was trying to convey to you the absurdity of the fact that this theme just makes no sense for the current situation that we were in. So, if you would like to say in whatever argument that we may end up in, that I hope we don't, I hope you are a kind of person that can take agreements and or not agreements, but take opinions, and rather than be the kind of, you know, unfortunately, just the state of the internet, the guy who goes, I need to attack this guy back, kind of thing. You are the person who can present to me a counter argument or just a conversation in general. I hope you are one of those people, Skell. And if that is the case, I look forward to doing more of your maps and talking to you, I guess. But that is my review. 6 out of 10. Definitely not one of the more higher rated maps I've done. And, you know, at some point I might play some of your other maps. And if I do, they could be amazing. Like, I saw your first map, Minecraft one, I'll probably get to at some point. We'll see. It's very popular. It's all over the place, and the comment section loves it. So I might do that map one day. So don't think I'm like out to get you or anything as well. I'm definitely not out to get you. I am just the guy making videos. Now, I extended my disclaimer there a little bit because I felt it was a little bit warranted, talking to my general audience now, because I did lower this. I rated this pretty badly, and this is my first impressions with this guy, and I'm not out here to make enemies. That's not my job. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm simply trying to give my honest thoughts on a map, and hopefully avoid these kind of things in the future, so I can personally enjoy a map that this guy makes in the future better. But completely addressing my general audience now. Thank you for watching, guys, and if you are a long-time follower, thank you. If you did, anyway, if you're a long-time follower and you did, thank you for those of you who listened to my little rant at the beginning of this video. I'm sorry this video will be going up later. Hell, it might even be around like dinner time for a lot of people by the time this goes up. But I feel this is the best way I can, give my best. I keep saying, oh my god. But I feel this is the best way that I can present to you quality content. Content that does not look bad visually, or look bad in a sense, not look bad, but audio. Tapping my headset for some reason. But is good with audio and visual content is basically what I'm trying to say. So, I am sorry it's coming out later, but hey, at least it was a Friday, hopefully. Unless some god-awful glitch happens at YouTube. I mean, the fucking EU's in shambles. Who knows? Maybe all of YouTube will be too in a few hours. Who knows? Oh, God, political jokes. Gotta love them. Anyway, I'm gonna run before the comment section kills me for that. So this has been Xel'crin, guys. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video, stream, or wherever the fuck you find me. Bye, guys.